Okay, have you ever dealt with a brand new backpack that just suddenly ripped at the seams? Or maybe you were out sick for a few days and honestly desperately needed an extension on some massive science project. Look, we have all been there. And how you actually handle those moments, it can honestly make or break your day, your grade, or even your wallet. So welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unlock what is literally a real-life cheat code for getting results: the art of respectful requests and complaints. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll hit the power of words, then how to request effectively. After that, how to complain respectfully. We'll do a quick test of your knowledge, and finally, wrap up with education meets morality. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, the power of words, or as I like to call it, getting what you want peacefully.
So, sometimes in life, you just need to ask for something, right? Or you need to fix a problem. Whether you're asking a teacher for an extension, trying to get a refund, or speaking up about something in your neighborhood, how you communicate completely dictates the outcome. Period. If you fire off a poorly written, angry, or, confusing message, well, best case scenario, it just gets ignored. Worst case, the other person reacts defensively, and suddenly you're in this huge argument instead of just getting a solution. But a well-written message, it drastically increases your chances of a positive response. It totally cuts out the drama, it shows that you're mature, and it builds your reputation as a thoughtful communicator who actually deserves to be listened to. And this brings us to a really foundational idea here. This isn't just about passing some writing assignment for school, it's an absolutely crucial real-world life skill. Romans chapter 12, verse 18 says, "If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone." Now, I really want you to let that sink in for a second. As far as it depends on you. You can't control how other people act, right? We all know that. But you can entirely control how you present your needs and your problems. Learning to write a respectful letter is actually a totally practical way to create peace in your own life.
Moving on to Section 2, how to request effectively. Let's look at the actual mechanics of asking.
So, how do we actually ask for what we want? Well, an effective request has a very specific structure. It's not just some rambling email. It basically boils down to 3 actionable steps. Step 1, clearly state what you are asking for. Don't beat around the bush, just be specific and concise. Step 2, explain why it's important or why it's needed. Give them the context. And step 3, suggest the timeline or a way to help. Honestly, this last one is the secret ingredient. It shows you're taking responsibility and not just dumping your problem right into someone else's lap. Let's look at a super relatable school scenario just to see this in action. Imagine you're asking your teacher for an extra day to complete a project because you were sick. Applying our 3 steps, you wouldn't just say, "Hey, I need more time." No way. You'd say something like, "I am writing to ask for a 1-day extension on the history project." Bam, that's step 1, stating the ask. Then, "I was absent for 3 days this week with the flu and fell behind." There's step 2, explaining why. And finally, "To show my progress, I have attached the first half of the project today, and I can submit the rest by Friday morning." That is step 3, suggesting a timeline and a way to help. See how professional that sounds? I mean, what teacher wouldn't want to help a student who communicates exactly like that?
Okay, Section 3, how to complain respectfully. Seriously, guys, complaining is a superpower.
Now, asking for things is one thing, but what about when things actually go wrong? Let me let you in on a little secret. Complaining, when you do it correctly, without insulting anyone, is an absolute superpower out in the real world. So when you have a complaint, here are your 3 golden rules. Number 1, describe the problem clearly and without insults. Look, name-calling just immediately shuts down the conversation. Number 2, provide facts or evidence. And number 3, suggest a reasonable solution. The goal here is to make it as easy as possible for them to just fix your problem. Actually, let's highlight step 2 for a quick second. Facts are your absolute best friend when you have a problem. When we say evidence, we're talking about things like dates, receipts, and photos. If you can prove exactly when something happened and literally show visual proof of the issue, you completely remove the emotion from the whole situation. You're just presenting the undeniable facts. Multiply this to a personal inconvenience. Say you bought a backpack, and it broke after just 1 week of carrying your books. Frustrating?
Oh, absolutely.
Time to yell at the store clerk? Definitely not. Using our rules, you simply state exactly when and where you bought it, maybe showing the receipt. You describe the problem, like the left strap tore completely off the seam, and perhaps attach a photo if you're sending an email. And finally, you suggest a reasonable solution by just asking for a refund or a direct exchange. It's calm, it's factual, and for sure it gets the job done.
And get this, you can even scale this skill up to impact your whole community. Imagine writing a complaint to a city official about a super dangerous crosswalk near your school. You give the exact location, those are your facts. You describe what you've seen, like near misses with cars and students. That's the problem, without any insults. And then you request that they consider adding a traffic light, which is your reasonable solution. You are using the exact same communication mechanics, but now you are literally advocating for public safety. How cool is that?
Let's move into Section 4. Test your knowledge. Let's see what you've actually learned today.
All right, I've been doing a lot of talking here. Treat this like we're right in the classroom together. I want you to mentally lock in your answers before I give them away, okay? First question, what are 2 important parts of a request letter? Think back to our 3 steps. Got it? Okay, you need to clearly state what you are asking for, and you need to explain why it's important. And hey, if you remembered suggesting a timeline, that absolutely counts too.
Next up, why should you avoid insults in a complaint letter? Got your answer? Because it makes people defensive. Insults just create drama and pretty much guarantee your letter gets ignored. Respect, on the other hand, creates a positive response. Okay, rapid fire, give me one example of evidence you could include in a complaint. Think about it. There were 3 big ones we talked about: dates, receipts, or photos. Any of those are completely perfect for proving your case calmly and factually.
Now, here's a slightly deeper question for you. How could offering a solution make your letter more effective? What do you think? Well, it's because it shows you're reasonable. It basically hands the other person an easy way to just say yes and fix the problem for you, rather than making them play a guessing game about what will make you happy. All right, last challenge. Right now, in your head, I want you to write one sentence you might use to politely begin a complaint. Just the opening sentence. Ready? Something like, I am writing to share a concern regarding the product I purchased last Tuesday is absolutely perfect. It's calm, it's direct, and it sets a respectful tone immediately. Really great job.
Finally, Section 5, Education Meets Morality. This ties right into the Heroes Smart Academy philosophy.
So this is where we transition from the how-to part into the deep why, because here is the absolute truth. Education without morality, it will hurt. You could memorize all the steps to writing a perfect letter. You could literally be the smartest person in the room, totally educated in all the mechanics of grammar and structure, but what is the point of being supposedly educated if you just continue to use your words to manipulate, attack, or make bad choices that hurt other people? The skills we just learned are incredibly powerful, but they really only have true value when they're guided by a strong moral compass. And this brilliantly illustrates our core belief. Romans chapter 8, verses 6 through 7, promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. You know, this isn't just some abstract idea. It is the lived experience we see every day when people engage with this kind of learning. When you intertwine biblical morality with your education, when you actively choose to communicate respectfully, calmly, and truthfully, you don't just solve your broken backpack problems or get a project extension, you actually earn true peace of mind. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you with this one vital question to ask yourself. Next time you sit down to write an email, make a request, or raise a complaint, are you using your education to build peace, or are you using it to create conflict? The choice and the sheer power of your words is entirely in your hands. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously cannot wait to see how you use these tools out in the real world.